You're either going to be a part of the brand and you're going to adapt, or you're not the right person here.
Salon owners or hairdressers didn't start the profession to make Instagram reels about it. But unfortunately, the marketing hat is one of the top hats you need to wear as part of a business. Most businesses fail within the first 5 years. They have a good product or service. They have good experience. The marketing is the actual difference.
I love meeting the new clients in the salon.
You get new data.
So I get to find out why they came, why they left their last salon, what was it that enticed them about coming here, what made them actually press the button to book. So I really started to understand what made people feel more comfortable.
What was the most common answer?
It was never actually about the price. It was always about... Hey Rebels, it's Charlie, your host of the Salon Rebel podcast. Today I have a very, very tall man named Sev on my show. He is literally 6'10", and he's lucky that I didn't make him sit on the floor today to match my height. And he is also the founder, one of the founders of Bright Star Studios, which is where I record my podcast. So I'm having him on today. He is a absolute content guru and in that marketing field, and we always have such great chats. And we're just going to get right into it today. That's like the ad that we just put on now, what we say on the end. Like, it's about how it's not just about your hair. It's about how you feel when you're here. Yeah. Right. And that is, you're spending a long time. Like women, I mean, you're in and out of a barber in 30 minutes, but you're going all the time. But women have to sit there with somebody for like 4 to 5 hours. Still
crazy to me, but...
Yeah, it's a long time. I mean, we're not physically doing their hair for that long because they have to sit and wait and process, and there's all these extra steps. And
how do you make that 4 to 5 hours more pleasant for them?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And that's where we have we have a lounge and we have a snack bar. We do cocktails. We make sure that the client is moving around from seat to seat. Because I know how uncomfortable, we were just laughing before, how much I move in my chair here in a podcast for just 45 minutes. Like, I'll switch positions like 20 times during it because I'm so uncomfortable. You sit somebody in a seat for 4 hours, it's like putting them on a plane in economy and being like, you can't fucking move for that long. Like, people don't like it. They feel uncomfortable. So it's like just taking notice to like how people actually feel and what it feels like for you in your business. And you realize like, you have to experience your own business yourself.
Oh, yeah. People don't do that for some reason.
Yeah. And like, you go and get your hair done there and see what clients see. And every time you do it, you're just like, oh my God, that's so dirty in that corner. Like, because you're seeing it from a different perspective. You're like sitting down, watching around you, looking at different things.
So how do you get your staff to buy in?
I guess to me, it's not really an option. It's like, you're either going to be a part of the brand and you're going to adapt, or you're not the right person here. I think I've gotten better and better at choosing people in the beginning that I know that will suit my brands, that have aligned values. Mostly it's about customer service. Like, do they actually care about the customer? If they really care about giving good customer service, then they're willing to do whatever it takes to create that.
How do you test?
So we have them in. We usually have a model in, and then we have a trial. So we used to do it like all different ways. It depends on where I'm at this week. It's like, okay, like what am I going to do with this person this week? Usually I always get them to do a model first, and I'll be able to see, did they talk to the client at all? Did they just do the work, and were they really awkward? I can usually pick up right away if it's like bad vibes, and I'm like...
Do you give them a checklist to start with, or do you just let them just see how natural they are at it?
I just see how natural they are at it, especially when you're hiring like a fully qualified stylist. Yeah. Like, you've been doing this job and you've either been trained in a way that you care about people or you don't. If it's an apprentice, different. Yeah. Like, you wouldn't take on somebody that's never done the job before and expect them to perform well. But if you're already fully qualified and I get you in and you do not know how to just smile and chat to a client, it's not going to work out.
You don't have time to undo their bad habits.
No, and I have time to, so we skill test them. We find out how they can foil hair, how they do that, how they like their consultation process. I also have some test questions that I have in the hiring process. One thing I always ask is like, if I told you that I had to retrain you to color hair, how would you go with that? Would you be able to be retrained?
The ego test.
Yeah. And if they all say, of course, they say, yeah, that wouldn't be a problem. But I can tell when they kind of flinch and whether or not they kind of don't like that.
Yeah.
And as soon as I sense that, that's not the right fit for me.
Yeah.
And I get it. It would suck to be told that you're going to have to do things differently. But at the same time, like, I have a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, it's your brand.
So they need to come in and be able to do the, they need to be able to perform the way everybody else does.
What do you look for the most? Soft skills or hard skills?
Define soft skills and hard skills.
So hard skills are the ability to do the foils properly, and the soft skills are the ability to give them a good experience through that process.
If it's a qualified person, it needs to be 50-50 because I don't have the time to retrain them completely. They have to have like good foundations and they have to be able to learn quickly.
Yeah.
But soft skills, if they don't have soft skills, good soft skills, that's like definitely a big no, because I can't like teach somebody to care about other people. You know, if they don't have empathy for others, if they genuinely, you know, they walk past, there's some foil on the ground and they just like step over it and wait for somebody else to pick it up. Like we used to do shit like that, like literally do stuff like that in the salon where you just like drop something and see if somebody would pick it up. And if they didn't, you're like, bye.
Yeah.
You know, like just little things like that where you like, you know that you notice that, or like, there's nothing worse than when you walk into a business and you know that that person can see you in their peripheral vision and they ignore you. And will somebody stand there and even if somebody walks in, will they smile at them? Will they do anything?
Points are so important.
Yeah. So just little things like that. So now we have like this moment where we have somebody comes in, they do a model. We don't go too hard on them in that. And then the next day they come in, I get them to do a shadowing day where they basically have to be an apprentice. They usually shadow me. I basically tell them what to do throughout the day and get them to shadow with me because I want to see them, how they respond to feedback and me asking them to do things.
Do you have a secret customer come in sometimes?
Yeah, my best friend has been like the guinea pig model for literally almost my whole team. And they end up knowing that it's my friend.
So you have to get someone else.
Yeah.
A new person.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like her feedback though. I really appreciate like my girlfriend knows me and my business so well that she's usually always spot on with somebody, even if I'm like, oh no, maybe they're fine. And then later I'm like, hey, you were so right about that person, you know?
Yeah,
like she's like, the girl was picking up this brush, then putting it down, picking up another one. I don't think she even knows like what brush she needs to use. And I'm just like, well, you know, sometimes I do that. And then like, you know, 2 weeks later, I'm like, hey, that person did not know what they're doing at all.
Yeah.
So I think if you have a good one that, is good. Do you have anything like that? Like what practices do you have in place when you are hiring?
To be honest, I've never hired from a point of, hey, let's look for someone right now. They've always come in from they're already good. This person would be beneficial to work with us. Never for us, but with us. So Fraser and Luca, for example. Fraser I've known for over 7 years. We met through TikTok originally, and we would hang out every now and then, maybe 6 to 12 months apart at times. And I remember he came to my house once and he was showing me how to do this thing on the computer to make the sound better. I was like, wow, that's cool. And I said, oh, what about this? And he didn't know how to do it, but he figured it out. I was like, oh, wow, that's useful. But back then I was still trying to figure my own stuff out. And then eventually I got hired as an advisor to a company. This is like 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, to do some marketing for their internal marketing team. And they were looking to hire a full-time content creator for their marketing team. And it wasn't going to be me because I can't be employed. I'm unemployable. And they said, all right, we're going to go through the Seek thing and all of that stuff. And I'm like, okay. But I knew what I was looking for. I was looking for someone that was prepared and had a portfolio and could just be outstanding. And after 5 interviews, I was like, they're all the same person and they don't have any portfolio. This is a creative role. You need to show me your work. I don't care about the data on your spreadsheet or your resume. I need to see the work. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to bring Fraser in. I called him up. He was there the next week and he had a little folder and all this stuff that he came up with. And he hadn't had a job in over 12 months. And they gave him the job. It was a full-time salary. I was like, sick. 18 months of work. Job is done. Yeah. And I didn't keep that advisory role because they completely flipped on my strategy. To now, fast forward 3 years later, they're trying to do that strategy. And I'm just like, too late. And Fraser already left. But then from there, he had his wings and came and worked with us. So it was serendipity sort of moment. And then with Luca, we were doing a brand, like a product for when BTS first started. And I was so over being the mascot with all these clients. I was like, I don't want to be in this content anymore. I'm not a walking billboard for everyone. And I was like, all right. I'm walking down the street with my mate who's recording me doing interviews, and someone saw my camera and they said, oh, is that a Sony or a Blackmagic? I was like, oh, Sony. Good eye. We started talking, and then they were talking about the actors in Perth. I was like, actors, actors. Like, yeah. I'm like, how much do these actors cost? And like, you could give them food and they'll do it. I was like, cool, this is good. Let's give it a go. But I've always been an advocate for paying them what they deserve. Some people deserve less, some people deserve more, but eventually the right ones they deserve the whole world. I'm still navigating that based on the logistics of business. But anyway, long story short now.
What are you hiring actors for?
So I'm hiring actors to be the user-generated content for this product that they originally want me to be in for.
Right.
And I don't want to do that anymore. So I was like, someone else in front of the camera that can do it better than me. And then they connected me with Luca and another actor, and they came in really good. And Luca was directing this other guy, his name's Ethan, for this product. And I'm just like, far out. He's directing this guy better than I am. Cool. I don't have to. That's good to know, And then eventually we progressed that to a part-time thing, and now he's here doing that. All because he showed his work in the field. And it's a lot harder to do that as a call out on Seek, to go, hey guys, we're looking for this specific person. And people come in and it's just a whole bunch of bullshit artists. And I just say 2 words, prove it. Show me what you got. And my hires have all been people that have proved it in the field, and I've just observed that. And then I kind of headhunted them without pinching them out of anywhere. I've seen a lot of good talent in agencies, and I'm like, man, if I could afford you, I would take you out of this place that you don't like. And one day we'll get there. But for me, it's not about hiring people as like a call out. I find people and go, one day, I've got one guy in mind. He's a brilliant storyteller. And I always message him about this. I'm like, man, one day I'm going to be able to afford your time. And you deserve 150, 180 grand for what you do, what you're capable of, and more. And he goes, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. One day I was like, I'm going to work for it, because then that will expand it. But at the same time, like, some people come in and you need to see if they are worth that value, because it's different for when they come in and actually do it.
Yeah. Amber did the one thing that I asked her to do, so now she's probably doing whatever she wants.
How do you measure Amber's output?
Amber's very self-motivated.
Nice.
We were just saying earlier, just for anybody that doesn't know listening, Amber's my EA. She's in here listening to us. She does literally everything for me, and if she were to die, I would be in massive trouble, because I've gotten to that point where she's just like literally does so much that I don't even know what she does. So
her life insurance premium just went up.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before. Yeah. And when I hired Amber, because Amber was like, we're just at the point now that I think a lot of people and salon owners get to this point where they need to hire somebody they can't really afford it. They first go and hire like a content creator to be, making content for them. They're paying them sometimes. The last person I paid, I was paying $1,200 a month. And I think we were doing 3 or 4 posts a week.
What else were they doing for that $1,200?
Nothing.
Yeah.
But I also know to create, edit, post one piece of content, that's only $100 for a piece of content. Like, I see the value and I understand why somebody needs to charge that. I think that's where I feel like a lot of people that were in that social content creation are moving to other things because it just wasn't really viable. Like, they just can't get enough work done. In a day. It just seems to be a common problem for them. So like our friend Renee, who now like teaches other people how to do how to market for salons, which is what salons need, because it's too expensive for a salon owner to be paying that when our margins are so small. Yeah. And that's the issue that we have. But then also, like, not all of us really like creating content either. Yeah. Like, it's like, yeah, we can learn how to do it, but like, I don't really want to do it. And if I give it to a team member, they might do it for a couple weeks. And then all of a sudden I've done this before where I have somebody that I'm paying weekly and then I take my foot off the gas and I'm doing other things. I'm not paying attention. And then I turn around and I'm like, okay, so you haven't done that in 3 weeks. Like, why have I been paying you? Why haven't you told me like you're getting a bonus for this every week?
What about accountability? How do you measure the success? Or how do you measure the output? Like, if you get to 3 weeks and they haven't posted anything or done anything, and then they're expected to, what's the problem? Like, there's something else there.
Yeah, it's the problem of that it's like, I don't want to micromanage somebody.
But is it in their job description?
Well, it would be if that was that would be something that you might set up with somebody. Yeah. You're like, hey, I need somebody to help us with the content. You seem to be interested in this. Do you want to try doing this? I'll give you X amount a week to do this. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And if somebody were to do that, when that's happened, I just pull the pin. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm not paying, like, I'm paying you to not do it, and I need you to be responsible. And that is, I shouldn't have to check in every week to make sure that you're doing your job. No. But now, which is great because we have somebody else doing that in the salon for like stories, but Amber manages them. So Amber makes sure that they get it done. So I don't have to do that, which is great. Yeah. And Amber helps with payroll. So she knows that she's paying this person to do that work as well. So she'll know right away if that person's doing it or not.
The gap there is them seeing the value of it and how it reflects on the business's growth. Mm-hmm. If there's a way you can quantify their output back to the input, they can see the value better. Yeah. So I go through 4 steps. One is the views per video per month. So let's say it's 10,000 views across 10 videos, for example. So 1 every 3 days. And then from there, it's how much engagement do you get from those videos? Likes, shares, comments, and follows. Shares and follows are the most important metrics, followed by comments, and then likes is the least. Because follows are literally someone you can message to go, hey, just curious. What got you to follow us? You don't even have to ask them, hey, come to our salon and book us in. Start gathering data. So that's one thing that Amber could do, or the delegate that she is responsible for. And then from there, it's like, okay, shares. How many shares do they have? Is the video shareable? Why is it shareable? Sharing a piece of content is super valuable because someone else has literally given you word of mouth. Check out the salon that's doing this content. Wow, amazing. And it hits better. And then obviously comments, you reply to all of them. So it's something else that they should be doing. Obviously likes, you can get a gauge on who sort of what people are liking. But if they like your content, that means the next video you put out, they will see it because they've engaged it, they've told the algorithm. So that's where the consistency comes in. So that's stage 2, engagement. And then stage 3 is inquiring. If they inquire to the DMs that Amber's replying to right now, great. What is the usual flow to then get them to stage 4? A sale, a booking, in the door. That 4-step process needs to be understood by the person you delegate your marketing to. If they don't understand that, then you don't actually know if it's worth doing it. Because if they don't get the sale across 10,000 views, what are you guys doing? What's the approach?
Mm-hmm.
Are you just filling the top of the funnel? Is the top of the funnel being filled with people that are interested? Are they local? Are they someone that wants to eventually buy from you? If you don't know that data, you're wasting your time completely. You may as well not do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I've learned from this whole journey. And when I have customers or students come into these workshops, they say, yeah, I need to learn how to do this myself. I need to learn how to post. I was like, and you need to learn how to be a digital salesman.
Mm-hmm.
How do you digitally sell your salon or your retail products? Because you've got your own products, right?
Yes.
Right.
Sort of.
But then you can
Right.
combine your service with the retail product that is in combination with the experience that they get. Wow, I sat there for 4 hours. I enjoyed myself, got a cocktail. My hair looks amazing. Plus, she recommended me this spray that keeps it for an extra day or two or whatever it is. Right. And then also, man, these colors are great. I don't want these colors to fade. I'm making this up. I'm talking out of my ass, but like this cream that I put in my hair, it helps the color last longer because you care and you've shown that online and they believe it. And then you've nurtured them from curious to interested. If you can figure out how to do that or hire someone how to do that.
Yeah. I mean, the content that we do now is like we absolutely smash new clients now, like new clients, regular
Amazing.
clients. But I think one of the issues that, say, salon owners have, though, is that we give these jobs to people that don't want them. You know, like it's like that's all well and good to know all that, but expecting your hairdresser employee to be able to come to the table and start doing marketing when they're not there to do marketing.
No.
And I think that's where we get disappointed and we're like, why haven't you been doing this? I'm like, well, they've applied for a hair salon in a hair salon to be a hairdresser. Yeah. And it's getting them from the point where, okay, like they need to get to that next step where they're able to have enough money to pay for some help and like get somebody externally or bring somebody into their business, which I think is the best way to go. But there's this middle step there where maybe you're not quite ready to invest in it. So you need to learn it yourself. Yeah. You know, this is what I've done before. I've learned it myself, hand it off to, say, like a offshore VA to just get me through that little bit of a gap, start building momentum. Then once you see the results, you're seeing those new clients come in, you're starting to get a little bit more cash flow behind you. Then you can make that jump into hiring somebody in your business that is about marketing, right? Like Amber cares about her marketing because that is her job. She wouldn't be there if our marketing wasn't good. Yeah. Where the other girls, it doesn't matter to them. No. Like they're going to have to show up no matter what. They've got work to do.
There's a tiered approach, right?
Yeah.
You do it yourself or you somehow get lucky enough to delegate it to someone already in the team or you hire someone. And it really depends on your time and then also your budget. And this is what I'm trying to really nail down the process of because I tell people at the start of the workshops, you're either figuring out if you can do this yourself, which you already can. It's just, are you willing to?
And do you have
Everybody's
enough time?
Capable of doing it. And you're right. Salon owners or hairdressers didn't start the profession to make Instagram reels about it. But unfortunately, the marketing hat is one of the top hats you need to wear as part of a business. Obviously, if they're an employee, they're going to be less bought in than you. But there's incentive there. There's incentive opportunities that I'm still exploring. Like, what if a DM comes in from a specific video that they created that then brought in a customer? You know? And then you can talk about commission structure or pats on the back or whatever. Is it worth it? You know, I've also had people hired from companies that I work with, like Amber, who they gave other roles to. I was like, don't do that. They need to stay marketers. You can't give them other stuff because creativity, it can't just turn a switch on, unfortunately. It can be in the moment. And in that moment, you need to be able to be able to go for it. And if you're doing other things or you have other things on your mind, you're going to go, oh, I shouldn't be doing this right now. But I'm glad you've identified the problem. It's my main bottleneck for most businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have a choice. They have to do it.
Yeah.
Because they come to me like, I've got word of mouth at the moment. I'm at 50% capacity. I'm like, okay, have you tried ads? They're like, yeah, but we don't have content to make ads for. I was like, okay, have you tried? Like, no, we don't know what to do. I was like, okay, we'll put that in the pile. What about organic? How do they validate you? Yeah, again, it's just photos at the moment, but we're getting no reach. I was like, yeah, because people prefer video now. It's just it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried turning those photos into reels and putting a caption on it that's relevant to the target audience? They're like, no, how do you do that? I was like, all right, we'll put that in the pile. And then eventually get to the point, I'm like, right, there are so many ways you can bring more customers in. How many hours a week do you have to do this, to implement it? They're like, oh, 2? Perfect. Let's do it. And then they don't. And I'm like, horse to water sort of stuff, and they just don't want to drink it. Most businesses fail within the first 5 years. They have a good product or service. They have good experience. The marketing is the actual difference.
Yeah.
And there's even worse examples where they hire an agency and the agency goes, yeah, no worries. $2,500 a month. And then 6 months later, wasted, 15 grand down the drain. And I'm like, what did they tell you in the first month, after the first month? They're like, oh, they said to wait for 3 months after the report. And I was like, okay, then what? And they're like, yeah, they say sometimes it takes 3 more months. I'm like, they gaslit you and they took your money and now they've left and you have no data. That's terrible. So how do we avoid this? How do we avoid businesses that are skillful to not go down, not go under, after getting pummeled by agencies or not understand what it takes to actually succeed? Because marketing is very important.
I think it really takes business owners getting serious about, like, you have to understand marketing.
Yeah.
You have to have a better concept of what's going on in your back end, and you can't keep avoiding it because you don't have time because you're dealing with a client. And you have to put systems and structure in place so that you have more time, because 2 hours is not enough time to be working on your marketing. Like, that's all we pretty much do in my business now. What I do as a salon owner, I go in on Saturdays and I do hair because it's fun.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest part of, like, my week. And that's fun for me. And it's funny to see all the girls stressing out about other stuff. And I've just had so many worse things happen to me that week, on in every different area. But I think people just don't take it seriously enough, and then they're not consistent, and they can't get their business to that point where, they'll do an EDM once every 6 months. They will start ads by just doing like a boosted post, or they'll hire a random agency, exactly like you said, who doesn't work for, doesn't do stuff for salons.
Or no hair at all, yeah.
Yeah, and so they don't know the customer, which is where, like, what we do now with our clients, our mentorship clients who we run ads for, it's like I get to run ads for them based on what's working for me right now. So I totally understand what works, and we get them massive results because it's so we're so small and we're so like one-to-one like that. Whereas when you go with an agency, maybe it started like that and then they pass you off to someone else, and now you find out that your work is being done offshore by
an intern.
Yeah. Then and doesn't understand your branding at all. Like, I ended up having to take an agency to consumer protection one time, like years ago, because they couldn't even get past the mood board because they refused to come. They said, we're going to come into your salon so we understand like what your branding is, everything. Just never did that. Kept giving me stuff that just didn't match up. And I just went, you know what? You guys are wasting my time. The first thing I said to you when I met up with you is, I don't want this to take more time from me. It's supposed to relieve me of time. And if you can't do that, then this isn't going to be helpful for me. And you're just going back and forth and going, no, that's not it. That's not it. But like, where is the effort into getting to know what my brand even is, right? So I think a lot of people have those experiences, but then keep pushing forward thinking that I'm going to trust these guys because they're a big agency and their marketing looked fun. Like, their website looked good. So that's going to be me, right? So I think it just gets
But you're a practitioner. You show the results by your own work, and then you share that with other salons.
Yeah.
Obviously, they pay for your services, but you understand that a salon in Kalamunda is not going to have the same customers as you because the two worlds apart.
Yeah.
You may as well teach them to grab their area as much as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, agencies don't seem to understand that. Have you done the Google review exercise that I told you about?
What's the exercise?
Scrape all your reviews, all of the data, all of the words that every customer has ever given you in your reviews, and generate a word heat map of all of the pain points, of all the frustrations, but all of what they loved about you, because most of them will just be positive words, because that becomes a dream state to your next customer. If you know how to do that, then your brand, you don't need to come into the salon to understand it. You just need to go, right, what are our customers saying about us already? It's in the reviews. And if you don't have reviews, you do definitely. If you don't have reviews, go to your competitors' reviews. Overseas even, so they're not really your competitors. But yeah, grab the keywords from there. It's actually no longer about what are they asking as questions. It is a little bit, but now it's what are they saying that they really like about this service? What do they expect, or what did they get that match their expectations? Because those keywords can then be put back into your content. So when you put it out, what you say is how they speak, which makes them feel that you're reading their mind. And then they come in and go, you're speaking my language. Like all my sales calls now. Yeah, Sev, you mentioned these things. It's like, yeah, that is me. I'm like, I know. Because A, targeting, and B, keywords through what previous students have said. And my experience with my favorite students are the fact that they listened, but also the fact that they had these frustrations that I've helped them overcome. I want 1,000 more of those people because my chance of success is almost guaranteed. So why not market to those people so that by the time they come in, I'm like, welcome. We're about to make a difference in your business. And I think people are missing out on this strategy because they're so scared of trying to do it themselves, but it's so much more easier now than ever before.
You can also, like in our salon, I ask all the girls to ask their clients the same thing, and I ask so on Saturdays, I put myself on the floor, and I always put myself on the floor last minute, so I end up taking new clients. And people will book in with me right away because they go, oh my gosh, like I got an appointment with the director like 2 days before, and they're like, you must have had a cancellation. I'm like, I just don't book myself in, and then I just get the overflow of new people because I love meeting the new clients in the salon.
You're getting data. You're getting new data.
So I get to find out why they came, why they left their last salon, what was it that enticed them about coming here, what made them actually press the button to book. And all of that, right? So I always do that, but I've always done that. And when I'm not sure if you know this, but I started my business underneath my house, and it was a little granny flat.
Creepy.
And yeah, it was the first nest. And even creepier, when I moved out, I decided to move is because I found out somebody committed suicide in there. And then that was really creepy.
Have you said this before?
I haven't said that before.
Oh, there's a clip right there.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Yeah. How did you find out?
Because one of the girls that was working for me realized that it was somebody that she knew, that it was like somebody's.
Yeah.
It was her partner had come to pick her up one day, and her partner had said like, oh my God, like that is the same house that my old friend used to live in. And like so-and-so, like, died in there. And that was, I think it was right around the same time I just found out they were putting up the house for sale and we were moving anyway. So I was like, all right, I guess we're leaving. Like that obviously really creeped me out to find that out. But at the time, I was working from home. I never meant to work from home. When I went out on my own, I was opening up a salon with somebody else. Long story short, it didn't work out between us, and I ended up working from home. I never wanted to be an at-home hairdresser because I found it was like a stereotype.
Cliche.
Yeah, you just like think you're not as professional. You just don't like see it.
It's not scalable either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you have the space, my home salon, the first nest when I built that still had 4 chairs, 2 basins, a color area. It was still it was bigger than this room. It was probably, I think it was about, how big is this? It was about 50 square meters.
Yeah, this is about 35.
Yeah, so it's a little bit bigger than this. But I asked every client why they decided to come to a home hairdresser's instead of going to a commercial salon.
Yeah.
So I really started to understand what made people feel more comfortable.
What was the most common answer?
I think that they just felt uncomfortable in salons with like a lot of the team. They didn't feel like the customer service was good.
Yep.
It was never actually about the price. It was always about how a salon made them feel.
Yeah,
when they walked in, the way that somebody would look at them, the way that there was always tension between the stylist. That was a huge one. The reason why people don't come back to their hairdressers is sometimes it's ridiculous. Like one lady told me that she really didn't like it that the hairdresser was trying to explain to her how to blow dry her hair, as if she didn't already know. And I was like, to me, that's good service.
Salon-splaining.
Yeah, but at the same time, like that's part of the service. Is like, this is how I would style your hair. You know what I mean? Like for some of us, it's like that's great service. But what can be even great service to some can be like, I don't know, really patronizing to somebody else. But you never know. It's
so
like,
would you say that your initial customers help build what you are today based on their feedback that you've consolidated over the years?
100%.
Why do you think that businesses don't take that on? Because I noticed that a lot of businesses don't gather that data to optimize their business based off the customer's feedback.
People don't like being told what to do, for starters.
But the customer's not always right, but if a customer comes back because I changed one thing and it gives me a retainer, I'm going to do it.
So I think a lot of the time it's not just about that. It's like they're afraid to change something because they think, okay, I might make Sue happy, but Becky and Stacy aren't going to like it, so I won't change it. So people are terrified of making changes in order to lose somebody. It's the reason why they won't up their prices. They won't change their color line. They won't change things because they think that the clients are not going to come back if they change something. I mean, I can tell you, it's really annoying when you go to a restaurant and like you go there for a certain meal and the meal is now gone. You know, you're like, this was the best meal on the menu and you've now taken it away. Right? So, but you're always going to lose a few to gain many, when you make changes.
And that's the risk you got to take. And there's ways to test that as well. Like you overlap the two. That's the first solution.
One thing would be, people would say, I would notice that women would be hungry, right? It's 4 hours. They're like, I'm starving at the end. They're just like, they're messaging their partner, what are you making for dinner? Blah, blah, blah. Because they've been in there for so long. They didn't bring their lunch to the hair appointment. Some people do, but some people aren't prepared, right? Yeah. And back like 15 years ago, we weren't Uber Eatsing everything back then.
But now you have a code, right?
No, I don't have a code. A code?
So they can DoorDash or Uber Eats if they use your code.
Oh.
The Nest. #the Nest.
Yeah, no, I don't. We actually just provide snacks and food.
Okay.
So
there you go.
Included, right?
So there were people upset that you now started bringing in snacks. And they're like, no, I'm on...
Yeah,
I'm
on
doing
a diet.
intermittent fasting.
Yeah, they're like, how dare you do that? No. We've had people leave. One person a little while ago with literally their bag and filled it with snacks and had leant over and they had fallen out of the bag and she'd said, oh, these are for my kids for their lunches. And I was like, what the F? I was like, I'm not providing snacks for, like, this isn't a grocery shop. Like, what the hell? And, some people are going to take the piss out of stuff like that. But those little things that that, like, if a woman is hungry, I'm sure you know this, it's not a good time for anybody around, right? Yeah. So by providing something so that it doesn't get to that point, especially if like... Yeah, we have chocolate, we have cheese and crackers, we have, all sorts of
Did that lady come
treats.
back, by the way?
Which one?
The one that you caught out for...
I don't think she's come back. And not only that, she also brought her partner, and her partner sat in the lounge the entire time working, drinking coffees. It's actually a ladies only salon, but I wasn't there to begin with, and I think it just got this awkward time where like nobody knew what to do, and this guy's just sitting in the lounge all day. And like it's so funny because all the other women that are like normal customers of ours will say like, why is that guy here? Like there's a man in the lounge. Did you see that there was a man in the lounge?
Oh no.
And we have lots of clients that wear headscarves too, right? So they come there knowing that there's not going to be any men in it. So we always have to check, like if we had Luca come in and film or anything, I have to make sure that we respect that, because we tell them that it's safe for them to take their headscarves off. And these women that have headscarves, you wouldn't believe the kind of hair that they have underneath those scarves.
You can get Luca to look feminine. He's done that before.
Yeah. I've heard that. That's why I told him to wear his heels when he came into film the other day.
Maybe you should get next door and turn it into a cigar lounge or something.
No, I don't want to work with men.
You know, you don't have to work with men. You just have to
manage them.
Yeah, no, just someone else to do it.
So anyways, this guy is sitting in there, and when it's their time to leave. She has just poured out all these snacks, and then he gets up and he goes, "Oh, but I've just ordered myself another coffee." I'm like, this isn't a cafe.
Make it a takeaway and leave.
Yeah, it was really bizarre, but like they really obviously did appreciate and love that about the salon. They're like, this is great. I can come with you and watch you get your hair done, which was very peculiar and weird at that.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just jealous. They're like, oh wow, this is actually an experience. Well, what can I do?
Yeah.
Guys don't really have that. Like when I go to the barber, like obviously I'm building rapport with my guy now. Shout out Dimitri. But I like when they put the towel on and they start putting the cutthroat on your beard and all that stuff, you're like, I can't talk right now because I'm getting shaved. Like, what do I do? But guys don't really have that sort of experience. They go to cigar lounges or they go to the pub, right? But what else could they do that's a bit relaxing? Gaming or whatever. A spa? I don't know.
I mean, they could.
Yeah, they could. But when Sabine, my wife, she goes to the salon, I know she's going to take a while. She's got a little girl now, go take her with her, which is cute. But it's cool to see that you've actually made this a really cool experience, and you've built this up over the years. With your feedback. The feedback loop is permanent because things change, trends change. A customer comes in going, have you seen this? You're like, what if I implemented that and made that a service? And then all of a sudden, all these girls come in going, oh my God, you do that. Oh my God, we've been looking for a place. And then just paying attention once can make all the difference and be ahead of the trend. Ahead of the trend. That's a pun. You like that? See, she like
you think it's new?
Yeah.
Ahead of the trend?
Yeah. It's mine. You can have it.
It's definitely
You're welcome.
New. I think people just don't put enough focus on the customer service experience at all.
It's the difference.
And you know how, other competition is always going to copy each other sometimes and do stuff. I cannot believe that nobody I know has copied me with what we do in the lounge.
I don't think they can.
And not even in a copying way, but like why aren't they giving better service? Why can't they just take, they just are so focused on like what it would cost them and can't focus on what they would gain from giving that.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we create content, like our best bits of content that bring in the most clients are experience videos.
Yeah.
It's what is the experience going to be? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Where am I going to be sitting? What am I going to be drinking? It's easy for us to make experience videos, but it's hard to make an experience video if you don't have a client experience. Like getting the service, a standard service, isn't a client experience. That's just basic.
No, and it's 99% of the market.
Yeah.
You stand out. You stand out by showing your process, your experience, your ability to solve the problems that they've run away from previous salons. And that's the essence of creating a learning hub on your socials and your website. And then from there, when they're ready to buy, they go to the bottom of the funnel. They're like, well, this is the experience that you're about to get. Oh my God, take my money. Take my money now. Yeah. Like non-refundable, I'll be there. And then on Saturdays, you may just get booked by the director.
Yeah.
How great. You don't advertise that because then your
No.
Saturdays will be...
No, I don't advertise that.
Yeah. I might have to cut this one out.
Yeah. I always tell people too, like, I'm not the best person that you're not going to get the best experience with me, because I'm going to be pulled in a million directions today, and everybody's going to want to know something from me. I'm going to have to help this person and that person. You're on the floor helping the team. And I tell people that, we're going to have a fun appointment because I'm a fun hairdresser to have, but you're going to have a better quality appointment at your next appointment, because I'm going to put you onto so-and-so because I feel like you would be a good match for them. So I will always move on somebody to someone else after. So I don't take them on as a client unless I really feel like I need to see them another time or two to kind of get their hair in the right place before I let them on to somebody else. Or if there's some once in a while I'm like, okay, I really enjoyed talking to this person. I'm going to book them in with me again,
Do you ever see a time where you're off the scissors permanently?
I keep trying that.
Yeah.
I'm always like, I'm hanging out my scissors. And then 4 weeks later, I'm back again. So I don't really think so, because I think even for my own physical health and dexteria, I think it's a really good practice and exercise.
Even if you end up looking like this?
But you just, not when you're only doing a couple of clients a week, I'm way more uncomfortable working in our office than I am doing anything else. Because sitting at my desk, but my knees hurt, my hips hurt, my neck hurts. I go for a day on the floor, and some days my back or my feet will hurt, but I'm kind of it doesn't really do that to me.
But you're building the best asset that you have for your business now. You are the face of, you're the marketer. And when I say marketer, you are the mascot in the marketing, which is your business. And then the sales part. The sales process, you're optimizing that all the time. And after reading and consuming a lot of the Alex Hormozi, Layla Hormozi stuff, I'm just like, she gets that. And all the information is from the US. So you coming from that neck of the woods, it's like she gets it, but there's no real competition here, because everyone's like, she'll be right. That laid back Aussie nature. You go to the American states, especially the condensed places like New York and over in the West, they have to do whatever it takes to compete, to get that client, and to be pedantic about not losing.
We have it so easy over here. You literally, all you have to do is smile at people when they walk in your business, and you're already a better business than someone else's.
Yeah. And
just by
don't change the recipe.
Yeah, exactly. And I think just finding out how to make that better or smoother and making that consistent when you grow your team is what people need to focus on.
And translate that onto social media for people to go, wow, that's what I'm after. I can't believe that's in Perth.
Which is where I think people go wrong, is they advertise too much of the actual result of the service and not enough of the service and the experience itself. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think from here, I'm excited to see how you really evolve the next part of when you do eventually permanently put the clippers down, but also a general manager. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what's the longest you've been away from your business and there hasn't been a fire?
3 months.
3 months. And you came back because you just got bored, or there was a fire you need to put out?
We went back home. We just went to Canada and came back after 3 months.
Yeah.
So we were not planning on moving there. It's just we ended up having to stay there. So I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah.
Right
what
now.
What a gift that you've been able to create for yourself. Sure. And I think that's what most people should be aiming for. Build a business that can sustain itself without you.
I think if I wanted to step away, I'd end up slowing down everything else I'm doing. But because we're always pushing all these snowballs and doing all these things, there's always so much going on, right? And because we're always evolving and putting new things in place and doing that I have to kind of slow it down a little bit before I go away like that, because you're literally just like pushing all these snowballs like down a hill, and then you're just like, okay, bye guys, like with all this stuff to take care of. But if I wanted to just like slow it down and have the business just running the way it is running right now, it'd be fine. It's just, we're always evolving and doing like different things. And I think it's fun. I honestly, I hope I never do fully put down the scissors, because it always just brings me back to why I started and connecting with my client. And I'm always going to connect with that client. And unless I didn't have the salon anymore, that'd be different. But yeah, I'm very interested to see like where it's going to go next. I don't know if I told you I've sold, just about to sign, I've sold 50% of my e-com brand. So someone else is like fully taking it over, operations manager. He's going to be the director, and I've kept 50% of it. So that'll get like taken off my plate, which will be amazing. And it's exactly the kind of person that I like really hoped that would be involved. Not a hairdresser, just like just an absolute gun. Basically gets like founder brands in places like Woolies and David Jones and Kohl's and all that kind of thing. So he's like full like brand strategist. Like it's just taking the whole brand and making himself redundant. Everything's just getting like automated and stuff, and really really cool. But that will that frees us up from that. From dealing with that. Not that, I mean, Amber's been dealing with it for the last couple of years. I haven't really done much with it, but yeah, just seeing where it goes with the podcast here and our mentorships. And it feels so, I love having a client that I actually can replicate what I've done in another business and see that it works, not just for my business. And I find that so cool and rewarding. Like we just, one of my clients, we only started working together at the beginning of November last year, and in January we doubled her takings from last year, like 3 months in.
How good does that feel? Like, money can't buy that experience.
Yeah. It's not about, it's just that reward of like knowing that all your hard work and all those times that you're up until like midnight, 2:00 in the morning, literally falling asleep with your laptop on you, because you're just like, it's not that it's just like hustle culture. You're just so passionate and invested in it. And now you're like, wow, this stuff actually like really works for other people, and I can do it again, and I can help this person and help that person and help people that are really struggling into like not knowing, they're just not in the same headspace as I am. And so for them to get to that, they just need that extra support and being able to do that and actually seeing results, not just saying we'll get results and having nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
Literally, like every day this client is messaging me being like, we just got this kind of client and then that kind of client and then this kind of client. And these clients that she's taking are huge.
And those are receipts
clients.
For you. That's your
for sure. And
brand
you're just
sentiment.
like this, it just makes you go like, I need to keep this like going, because that feels good. And you went from helping the hairdressers and the people that you work with to now helping like more people and scaling how many people that you actually impact and help, which has been really cool.
Absolutely. I feel the same, because I've done a lot of it for myself. And I remember a guy told me, Sev, if you want to do this for other people, you need to get receipts of other people doing it first. And then you can go to market. And until you have that, you can say that you've done it before, but people resonate when you've helped other people do it for themselves. And I tell this to people, I'm like, don't become a coach until you've done it for someone else as well. Just because you've done it for yourself doesn't mean it can work for someone else. Like I did my wedding photography, and my big tagline on my website is, there's no double chins from my height. Everybody loved that. Everybody loved that. And I'm like, you can't use the same tagline, because you have to be 6'10", you know? So but I'm excited to see the next chapter of your world, and see how you navigate this e-commerce thing now that you've delegated half of it.
I'm really interested to just watch what they do with it, and beyond that, like still be able to understand the back end with someone else driving it. You know, like, so there will be no secrets, right? And I'll be like, this is what is actually going to happen here.
100%.
And it's like, it's no matter what happens, there's like no loss, because it'll be a lesson anyways of, how it all works, and how how someone like that would drive a business. So I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much for coming on
Pleasure.
my show today. I appreciate you, and
Anytime.
thank you for letting us have such a cool little setup in here. Sev and the guys let me store probably a little bit too many things here, but I share them at least. So, but
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No worries.
We'll
Anytime.
see you next time.